Hello everyone and welcome to this lab session. In this session we will look at how you can create your EC2 instance in your AWS account. So for that you can go to the launch a virtual machine option from the build a solution option over here, or you can search for the EC2 in the services tab. So we will search for it, and over here you can see the virtual servers in the cloud. So let's go to the EC2 option. So this is what your EC2 dashboard looks like. Over here you can see that as of now we do not have any instance running, nor we have any other resources utilized for our EC2. So the first thing we will do is we will go to the launch instance and create our first instance. So these are the 7 steps that you can follow and you can create your first EC2 instance in your AWS account. The first thing is we need to select an Amazon machine image. So these images are basically a template that AWS will follow and create that particular machine for you on its servers. So we have the Amazon Linux 2 AMI, then we have Linux 2 AMI HVM, you have Mac OS, and then you also have the Windows machines and the Ubuntu servers as well. So just make sure whatever you are selecting is eligible for a free tier. So as of now you can see that free tier is eligible, and you can actually see that with the help of this badge attached to each of the image that is available for the free tier. So we will go ahead, and as of now I am interested in creating an Amazon Linux 2 AMI machine. So next thing you need to be sure that whatever the type of system you want, either it is x86 or ARM, so we will go with the default one and select this option. Now the next thing over here is you need to select your instance type. So basically instance type will help you select a machine that is capable of more compute power, or depending upon your application that you want to run, you might be interested in selecting any of the machine that suits your application. So over here you can see that the free tier is eligible for T2 micro, or if you are using it for a development purpose or installing it within your organization, so you can look for the virtual CPUs you want, the memory that you require, and then the storages that you want, and all those things. So right now we will select the T2 micro option, and right from here you can actually review and launch the machine, or if you want some more configurations that needs to be done, so you can do that as well. So I will walk you through quickly configuration instances that we have. So you can see that you can also launch multiple instances, like for example if you want you can launch 5 instances or whatever the number of instances you want. So this number cannot be greater than 20, by the way, so just keep a note of it. Right now we will only be launching a single instance, so I have selected one over here. Then you have the networking option. So as we haven't covered the networking option by now, so I won't be going into those details. By the way, we will be covering it in our networking section for this course. And then you have all other options that you might be interested, like the IAM roles, like if you want it for a particular role to be accessed through, or you want a particular application that can actually access this EC2 instance. So all the settings lies for that. Then you can also add some storage as well. Like for example, right now we have 8 gigabytes of memory, but if you are interested in increasing the storage, you can actually do that, or if you want another volume type, you can actually select that as well. Then we have the tags option. So we do not need any tag, but if you want a particular tag that needs to be attached with this EC2 so that you can actually sort it out among other EC2 instances, you can go for a tag option as well. Then you have the security group option. So by default, whenever you create a machine, so it creates a default security group, but if you want this particular instance to be launched in a particular security group, you can actually go ahead with that option as well. So right now we are going with the default options, and then we will review and launch our machine. So review is just to make sure that whatever the configurations we have selected is that way, and you can see that the Amazon Linux 2 AMI is the image that we will be using. Then we have the T2 micro instance, which allows us to have 1 vCPU, which is a virtual CPU, and then a 1 gigabytes of memory, which is enough just to launch an instance for this demo. And then we have the security group, and then the instance details, you have the networking options and all those things. So let's go ahead and launch this instance. So now you need to select an existing key pair, or you need to create one for this. So I will go ahead and create a new key pair. So this key pair is actually whenever you want to access this EC2 instance. Now it is not the case that always you might want to access this EC2 instance from the AWS console itself. There might be cases that you want it to access from your local machine and then interact with your virtual machine that you are creating on AWS and then perform certain tasks on it. So for that we have this key pair option. So I will go ahead and create a new key pair, and you have two options, the RSA and the ED 25519. So I will go ahead with the RSA option, and then you need to give it a name. So it is my first EC2 instance key pair. So let's download this key pair. So I will be saving it in one of my folders on my local PC. Let's go ahead and launch this instance. So now you can see that the instance is now in the launching state. It takes around a minute or a couple of minutes to launch this EC2 instance. So this is how you create an EC2 instance on your AWS account. In this session we will look at how you can interact with your EC2 instance available on your AWS account from your local machine. So in our case we will be using the Windows 10 operating system. So for that you need to have two things installed prior to using it from your local machine. So that is Putty, and you can actually install Putty from the website putty.org. So you just need to go to this website, and over here you will find download Putty option. So you can just click over here and you will go to the download page. Depending upon your operating system, you can either install 32-bit or 64-bit installer. And then one more thing that I would recommend you to use is the Putty Generator. So you have it over here. So depending upon your operating system, again you can either use 64-bit or 32-bit Putty Generator as well. So I have already installed both of them. Let's see how you can interact from your local machine. So the first thing is you need to open up the Putty Generator. This is the Putty Generator over here, and over here we'll go to the load option, and inside the AWS credentials where we stored our credentials while we were creating our instance, this was our .pem file. You need to load this file, click on OK, and then you need to save it as a private key. It will ask you to proceed without a passphrase, so you need to proceed without it. For now, just go ahead and give it the same name, and then we will name it as .ppk. So just removing the extra extensions over here and save it. So now if you go to that folder, so now you can see over here that .ppk is now generated over here. Just close it. The next thing you need to do is open up the Putty itself. So this is the Putty configuration window that you will see in front of you when you open it. So the first thing is you need to go to the connections, and inside the SSH option you will go for the auth, and over here you will have to browse your key that you have just created. So this is a .ppk key that we created. Just select this key. Then the next thing is you need to go to the session. So we'll go to the session tab, and over here you need to give the host name or the IP address. You can get it from the instance itself. Just make sure before you try to access it, the instance must be in the running state. Click on connect option, and inside SSH client option you will find this link over here. Just select this and copy it. So I will just copy this. Moving back to the Putty, I will go ahead and paste it over here. The next thing is you need to give the session name. So let's name it as AWS session 1. And you can also save the configuration so that next time whenever you try to access it, you don't need to give in all these details again. So we will go ahead and open it. Alright, so here we go. So now you can see over here that our instance is now connected and you are able to use it. So I will just zoom in a little bit so that you can see it. So now I will go ahead and try to perform the same commands that we did previously. So let's use the Python on this instance. And here you can see that you are able to use the Python instance as well. And then you can also perform some Linux commands onto it. And here you go, you can see that package was already updated. So let's perform another command. So let me see that what are the directories that I have. So you can see that I have these folders as of now. What I will do is I will just create a quick folder over here, and then we will see it directly accessing on our web console that either we have this folder created or not. So mkdir AWS folder 2, and here you go. So you can see the folder is now created, AWS folder 2. To log out of the machine, you need to simply type log out. So now you're logged out of this machine, and the instance is now terminated from your local machine. So we will go ahead and open this terminal from the web console itself. So this machine is now ready to use on this web console, and I will write down over here ls. So now you can see over here the same folder that we created from our local machine terminal with the help of SSH client is also available over here as well. So this is how you can interact with your EC2 instance available in your AWS account from your local machine with the help of SSH client.